everyone, very nice to see everybody back again for another episode of Meet the Creator. We are very lucky, as always, this month. We've got some cracking books to talk to you about. Today, I'm going to be interviewing Kimberley Whittam about her debut novel. And Kimberley, would you like to tell us a little bit about it? Just kind of your elevator pitch, what the book's about, and of course, what it's called.
Yes, so my debut middle grade book is called Quiet Storm, and it's about a 12-year-old girl who's just started secondary school. She's very shy, so she finds social situations very difficult. And throughout the book, we see how she grows in confidence to join the athletics team and go on a journey.
Lovely. Would you be happy to give us a little sneak preview and do us a quick reading? That would be wonderful.
Yeah, of course. So I'm going to read from chapter 1, where Storm is waiting for her big brother so they can walk to school. Yeah. So, just chill. That is what Isaiah is telling me to do, but I'm finding it hard because he's icing a mountain of cupcakes in the kitchen and the school bell will ring in 15 minutes. It would be a lot easier to chill if I could walk to school by myself. Why couldn't you have just bought Asda cakes like a normal person, I sigh, sitting down at the table. I hope sitting here with my school bag across my shoulder will make him ice quicker, but it doesn't, of course. As usual, Isaiah goes at his own pace. Being normal never gets you anywhere, he says, delicately adding golden stars to each cupcake. I watch him in frustration, realising that he has at least 10 cupcakes lined up on the counter that haven't been touched yet. I look at the time. We're going to be late, which means that I'll have to walk into my form room as Mr. Adam reads out the morning notices. I'm not bothered about missing the notices, though. They're always the same. Mr. Adams, my form tutor, gives us a boring lecture about how the overuse of our mobile phones and the smartness of our school uniform will determine the rest of our lives. What I am worried about is that Mr. Adams will stop mid-sentence for me to explain why I'm late, and this means that everyone will be listening. It's all right for Isaiah. He doesn't feel his cheeks burn and his palms go clammy when walking into a group of people like I do, so he doesn't understand why I panic when we're late in the mornings. I clutch the straps of my school bag and take deep breaths. Miss Scott, the teaching assistant in my phone group, said that I should count to 10 whenever I feel anxious, which happens to be all the time when I have Isaiah as a big brother. Isaiah is far from normal. If he's not winning science competitions or protesting social injustice, he's baking cakes for the school charity bake sale or playing the drums in the school band. He's the poster boy for everything you can accomplish if you follow the school's motto, aspire, achieve, succeed. Relax, no one is going to be staring at you, he says, as I complain for the millionth time. He puts a lopsided ice cake in front of me as a way to calm my nerves. I don't need a cupcake, I need you to hurry up, I say, pushing the iced chocolate cupcake away. He carries on, creating ice swirls as I put my head down in defeat.
Fabulous, fabulous. That's a great start. I really, really enjoyed the book. I did read it all at one greedy gulp yesterday. And what I loved about it was, having been a former school librarian myself, each character I could think, I've met a kid like that. I've met a kid like that. So what do you do at the moment? What's your, if you like, your day job at the moment?
Yes, I was a teaching assistant, but now I'm assistant Senko. So I'm in the special needs department, overseeing interventions and working with kids in small groups. So that's like my day-to-day job.
So have you always wanted to be an author? Was it something you were always going to do? Or what inspired you to start writing?
I think I've always enjoyed writing since I was like really little, but it's not something that I imagined that could actually happen. But during lockdown, I completed like a workshop online. And then I sent what I wrote for that to an agent, and then things just went from there.
It's such a...
It's like I won a competition or something to me.
It's such a strange thing, isn't it? You know, for lockdown, I mean, it had very negative sides for lots of people, but for lots of us, it also gave us the chance to kind of rethink a little bit and think, well, what else do I want to do? Which I think is amazing. What I loved most about the book, I've got to say, is the depiction of Storm and her family. And I loved the way that they all interacted together and taking the mickey out of each other and all that sort of thing. Was that very much from your own experiences of families?
Yeah, it is. It is a little bit inspired by my family, but I also wanted to show kind of what Storm was like at home. Because at school she's quite reserved, but at home, you know, she's very involved in her family life and relationships. So I just wanted to add that side to it as well.
So that you can see the well-rounded. Yeah. Okay. And what I also thought was really good, and what will be great for kids going up to secondary, is where you've talked about the shift in friendships when you go up to secondary, because you don't always stay friendly with the same people, do you?
No, it doesn't always have to be a bad thing or a fallout as well. Sometimes it's just a natural progression. But I see it a lot in schools that you change and you grow as a person, and just friendships naturally fall out and you make new ones. So definitely wanted to share that as well.
Yeah, you felt really, in some ways, you ended up feeling sorry for her friend that she does fall out with, because it's not actually Storm's fault.
No.
But she's the one that ends up losing out in the end, because she doesn't appreciate what she's got.
Exactly.
Yeah, she doesn't. And as I say, I did love the characterizations. I've got to say, my favourite was Coco. Got to say, Coco.
I love Coco.
She's just so close to my heart. It was just like, you know, she just opens her mouth and she says what she thinks, and you know,
I wish I was more like Coco. She really doesn't what anyone thinks.
She certainly doesn't take a lot of notice of peer pressure at all, does she, Coco?
Exactly,
a very self-confident young lady, which I thought was lovely to see. And also, of course, Ryan, who in essence is the bad boy of our story. But I really loved the way that you gave us the other details about the character that showed us what was going on at home and why he was acting out. And are there strong parallels there with kids that you've worked with? I imagine there must be.
Yeah, I just think that there's a lot of kids that are written off so quickly.
Yeah.
And they're not given second chances, and that's something that I wanted to give Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he turns out, I mean, that's the thing. The thing with Ryan, he's a really good friend to Storm.
He is a very good friend, yeah.
You know,
and he's got a strong sense of justice, and he's got empathy, and he does want to do well as well.
He does, bless him. He gets in these situations, doesn't he? He just gets in these situations. Now, you do know that everybody that watches this interview is going to be peering at the books behind you and trying to work out what they are, because that's what librarians do. So what are your favourite young adult and middle grade authors, or what were they when you were growing up?
Growing up, I've got to say I was a Jacqueline Wilson fan growing up. But when I was younger, I was more like Charlotte. Charlotte's Web was my favourite book, my childhood favourite book. My World Book Day costume when I was 8 years old was the best. I was dressed like Fern. My grandma made me like this crocheted spider's web.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just the best. But yeah, I also like Roald Dahl. James and the Giant Peach was my favourite growing up of Roald Dahl's. And then my favourite book that I still read every summer since I was about 14 years old, was I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith.
Well, now we're talking class.
I just love it. Like, it's the one book that I read every year without fail.
You see, now for me, I'm quite well known for being a Christmas freak. So for me, it is very much Christmas Carol. That's my December read every year. So you know, and isn't there an awful lot of pleasure and comfort in coming back to that same read all the time? I think that's absolutely wonderful. When you were growing up and reading books, did you find that there were many kids like you in the books you were reading?
No, I can't think of anything. The only character that I saw was Lavender in the Matilda, in the film version.
Yeah.
You know, in Matilda. But apart from that, no. There wasn't.
Okay. And obviously your book is very much an own voices book. You know, there are all sorts of different characters in there. There are loads of different characters. And do you feel that has improved a lot now? Do you see a lot of kids being able to recognise themselves in the books that they read?
Yeah, definitely. And the school that I'm in also make an effort to choose books like class books with diverse characters as well. So I think it's definitely changed, because it wasn't even discussed when I was growing up now.
It wasn't something that anybody ever thought about, was it? So what sort of age group would you say that you were thinking of when you wrote the book?
I was thinking like year 6 going up to secondary. Yeah. So I wanted to show that transition to secondary school.
Yeah, it is very much, I think it's a comforting book for year 6 as well, because it doesn't just show the good things about going to secondary, but it does also show that some of the things they're worrying about, because year 6s do worry an awful lot, don't they, about going up to secondary school. And it's a very comforting read because everything's okay in the end, if you like. So I mean, Storm is, as you say, she's very quiet, she's very shy. Is she modelled on anyone that you know, or is she just...
It's kind of based on students that I've worked with that don't, like, they want to join the school play, they want to join the school sports teams, they want to raise their hand in class, but they're just too afraid to. So I wanted to write a story that shows what can happen on the other side of their fear, what can happen if they just take the first step and join in. So that was my main inspiration.
So is this... I'm hoping it's not going to be your only book. So what are you working on next?
I've just finished the first draft of my second book. It's set in a school setting again, but the character is completely different to Storm.
That must be such fun.
I know, it was strange, but yeah, she's completely different, without giving too much away.
So have your pupils read your book?
Some of them have. I gave proof copies out to the class that I used to work with. And that was the first time that I told them. I kind of just, they had no idea. I just handed them the book. And I said, who's the author of that book? And they said my name. It took them a few seconds to be like, oh my gosh. But yeah, that was good. That was on World Book Day as well. So that was really nice.
Oh, how lovely. So this was that World Book Day.
Yeah.
And have they given you feedback on the book?
Positive feedback, yeah, they love it. And I'm like, is this character based on this person? And like
I bet they're all doing that. They're all talking amongst each other and saying, I think that's you. That's you. They'll be thinking that way.
Yeah.
So obviously, I mean, you've made a real success of this first debut novel, but do you ever foresee, writing full time, or are you still very much loving the job that you're doing and want to do it at the same time?
I love it. I always say I'll stay until the year 7 reach year 11, and I've just kept going with once a new set comes, then you got to stay. Like, it's like a job that it's a passion job. So
I think that's lots of us will recognise that. Lots of us have done that. Yeah. When this lot get to year 11, then I'll go.
I'll go.
Yeah, then I'll go. Oh, I'll just get these year 7 settled in.
Yeah.
And then I'll go. And you never end up going, do you? You just never end up going. So are there any plans for Storm to actually be in an audiobook? Would it be an audiobook, is it?
Oh, I would love that. I would definitely love that.
I think it works so well as an audiobook, being able to hear the voices all through it. I think that would really be a really good interactive experience for kids, and it's another way for students to experience a book, isn't it? Because they're not wanting to sit and read paper books. So we'll be a publisher's tell them we need a new book next. We definitely need a new book next. Well, all I can say again is I did love it. Absolutely loved it. And I'm looking forward to your next one and to see how different your next character is. But Storm is just a delight. She's a delight to read about. But those of you that haven't read the book yet, do look out for Coco, because she's even better. In my opinion, she's just the one. She struck me when I was reading. I am a complete, absolute Harry Potter freak. That is my thing. Mad on Harry Potter.
I love Harry Potter.
Coco reminded me very much of Luna Lovegood.
Oh, that's such a compliment.
Yeah, she really did.
She's not bothered.
Yeah,
she doesn't want to fit in with anyone else.
No, goes her own way, does her own little thing. you know, and it really did give me those sort of vibes. So and believe me, I can't give you any better compliment than that. It's been an absolute joy talking to you, Kimberley, and I know we're all going to be very much looking forward to your next book as well. And I'm hoping that lots of our colleagues, once they've watched this, will be going out and getting the book so that they can show their year sixes, because perfect time for year sixes to be reading it at the moment, isn't it? It's nearly summer.
Yes. I can't believe it. It's good.
Yes. Oh, it's been a long year. It's been a long year. I think we're all feeling like that.
Yeah.
But best of luck with the new one, and perhaps next time we can have you back and we'll interview you again. Okay.
Yeah, sounds good. Perfect.
Thank you very much, Kimberley.